Donald Trump's descent into madness has hit rock bottom, and it's starting to dig over the last few hours when he said the crazy part out loud in a letter to Norway's prime minister that the reason he's going to take over Greenland militarily by war, by force against a NATO ally is because he didn't get the Nobel Peace Prize for having settled, quote unquote, 8 wars. Yes, he's going to start a war because he didn't get the Peace Prize. I'm Michael Popok. You're on the MeidasTouch Network and Legal AF. Let's get to this new mental decline for Donald Trump. Now, we got a number of events that are going on all this week against which Donald Trump just told the Nobel Prime Minister, the Norway Prime Minister and the Nobel Committee that the reason he needs to go to war is because he didn't get the Peace Prize. I'll read to you from that letter now, which has been confirmed by Reuters and by the Norwegian Prime Minister that they weren't being punked. It wasn't AI. It wasn't a deep fake. It was, deep mental decline for Donald Trump. Now, a number of world events are going on right now on the world stage all at the exact same time. You've got the Davos in Switzerland World Economic Summit hosted by Donald Trump's buddies at BlackRock, a New York hedge fund, bringing together 3,000 people, 300 major players in the area of the world economy. Guess who's not there? Of course, our central banker is not there, Jay Powell. Instead, Donald Trump's taking little Marco Rubio and Howard Lutnick with him to go, hobnob during Davos. Now, what's missing from that room in Davos is world leaders to confront Donald Trump about his attempts to destroy NATO, because this attack on Greenland will destroy the NATO alliance. How do I know that? Because everybody in NATO has said it will destroy the NATO alliance. And we got protesters, of course, at Davos against Donald Trump. Here's a clip. Now that matches the booing and the protesting of Donald Trump in Greenland. Let's play a clip of the booing in Greenland.
It's very important that we stay together and show that Greenland is not safe, and we will not like to be, and we can all won't be annexed by USA.
We are people, and we are a part of NATO. We are a part of Denmark. The Kingdom of Denmark, has always supported the United States when they have been in problem, and right now they're saying thank you to us in this way.
But it even reached the NBA. The NBA playing overseas in the O2 Arena in London. I think it was the Memphis Grizzlies versus the Orlando Magic. And during the playing of the U.S. national anthem, the Star Spangled Banner, listen to somebody's commentary and then the cheering in the arena against America, but primarily against Donald Trump. Play it. Now, against that backdrop, the European Union is going to be meeting this Thursday in Brussels to talk about how they're going to respond to Donald Trump's new retaliatory tariffs against more than 10 of our allies, starting with Denmark, Norway, France, Germany, United Kingdom, Netherlands. We're talking about $1 trillion worth of trade relationships that Donald Trump's trying to wreck with another 10% because these countries in NATO are aligned in a raid against Donald Trump's attempts by war, by force to take over Greenland. And now we've got the new reporting that I kicked off the hot take with, that he actually wrote the following message to the Norwegian Prime Minister. Sit down for this one, everybody. Grab a hot pot of coffee or bourbon. You're going to need it. Here's what he wrote. Considering, this is to Norway's Prime Minister, Jonas Gahr Støre. Considering your country decided not to give me the Nobel Peace Prize for having stopped 8 wars plus, I no longer feel an obligation to think purely of peace, although it will always be predominant, but can now think about what is good and proper for the United States of America. Translation, I'm going to take over Greenland by war against my allies because I didn't get the Peace Prize. Okay, now look, he actually got the Peace Prize, right? You've got Maria Corina Machado, who's so desperate. I mean, I can't totally blame her. So desperate to get into power after being the exiled leader and wanting to get into power in Venezuela as the democratically elected and lead the country back to democracy, that she'll do anything. She even met with Donald Trump in the White House and tried to give him, bestow upon him, her Nobel Peace Prize that she won for being exactly what you want an opposition exile leader to do. You know, against all odds, against all personal sacrifice to lead her country to peace and overthrow a dictatorship. That was Machado. And so there's this photo, terrible photo. Looks like a hostage video. I mean, Maria, blink if you need help. You obviously do. In handing this over to Donald Trump. Now, we know what she was trying to do. She was trying to, be obsequious and play up on his narcissism and do anything to get back into power. What does she care about? A little trifle, a piece of gold. Now, of course, the Nobel Prize Committee has reminded everybody that you can't just transfer a Nobel Prize does not make you a Nobel Prize laureate because you got it from somebody else. I mean, one of the Nazis, the propaganda minister, Goebbels, got a Nobel Prize given to him too. And that doesn't count either. This episode, it's brought to you by IQ Bar, our exclusive snack, hydration, and coffee sponsor. IQ Bar protein bars, IQ Mix hydration mixes, and IQ Joe mushroom coffees are the delicious, low-sugar, brain and body fuel you need to win your day. As someone who's constantly switching between research, recording, my family, and long work days, I rely on snacks that keep me sharp without spiking my blood sugar, and IQ Bar has genuinely delivered. The Ultimate Sampler Pack is the easiest way to try it all. 9 IQ Bars, 8 IQ Mix Sticks, and 4 IQ Joe Coffee Sticks. Every product is clean label certified and entirely free from gluten, dairy, soy, GMOs, and artificial ingredients, packed with brain-friendly ingredients like magnesium and lion's mane. The new year gives us all a chance to reset. Maximize your brain and body's potential with IQ Bars, protein bars, hydration mixes, and mushroom coffees. Their Ultimate Sampler Pack includes all 3. And right now, IQ Bar is offering our special podcast listeners 20% off all IQ Bar products, including the Ultimate Sampler Pack, plus free shipping. To get your 20% off, text Legal AF to 64,000. Text Legal AF to 64,000. That's Legal AF to 64,000. Message and data rates may apply. See terms for details. So you've got, sort of that going on. And you got Donald Trump continuing, of course, just to reinforce the 8 war plus thing. So you don't think I'm making it up. Here's a series of clips of Donald Trump in various different venues. 60 Minutes interview, complaining to the Prime Minister of Israel, up at a speech complaining about that he's not given enough love and recognition for stopping 8 wars. I can't for the life of me think what the 8 wars are, but here's all the clips. Let's play the clips.
Did put out 8 wars, 8 and a quarter, because, you know, Thailand and Cambodia started going at it again. So
I'll put the list
I
up
give a
if you
quarter,
want.
so it's,
Yeah.
you put the list out as a hell of a list. But I've stopped 8 wars. We do well. We settled 8 wars, but we don't know the countries. Azerbaijan.
Yeah.
Right?
You got that right.
No, it's good. It's good when you can say it. It takes a couple of days.
They're
to get
actually
that.
good people.
Yeah, great. No, but that war was going on for 35 years, Armenia. That war was going on 35 years. Nobody even knew it. And Putin actually said to me, I cannot believe you settled that war, because I've been trying for 10 years. And I settled it in one day. Trade. They do trade. I said, we're going to cut you off from trade. No more trade. To both of them.
Got their attention.
But to both of them. I said, we're going to cut you off. No more trade. Then I put 200% tariffs on. The next day they called. We looked. 35 years of fighting, and they sucked. Do I get credit for it? No. They gave them. I did 8 of them. India. How about India and Pakistan? And then, so I did 8 of them. And then I'll tell you the rest of it. How are you doing? Okay. You going to all be outside, the beautiful sun? Good. Enjoy your lunch. It's a very good group. We made a lot of progress already. We had about a 5-minute meeting, and we've already settled about 3 of the difficulties. So thank you very much for being here.
Now, the EU has at its power the anti-coercion instrument, the ACI, which they can use to retaliate against retaliatory tariffs against them. So they're going to be meeting in Brussels on Thursday to consider whether they're going to impose tariffs. And who's that going to hurt? The American consumer. Who's that going to hurt? Not just the global economy, which will spin out of control and off its axis, but the American economy, which is already suffering under Donald Trump's out of touch, out of tune policies that benefit the billionaires and trillionaires in our society and crush the hopes and dreams of everybody else. And you know who's watching all of this at the same time? Donald Trump's use again of tariffs as a weapon? The United States Supreme Court, because they have under their advisement, we call it sub judice, they're considering, after full oral argument more than 70 days ago, whether to take away and declare once and for all that Donald Trump's use of the emergency tariff powers are unconstitutional and illegal under the International Economic Emergency Powers Act, IEPA. Now, I'm not sure we're going to get that ruling tomorrow while he's in Davos in Switzerland. I doubt we're going to get it tomorrow. If we get it, I think it's going to be in a few more months as all of these concurrences and dissents are being written along with the majority decision. But this is a new fact. It may not be officially part of the record, but, you know, the Supreme Court are human beings. They get the newspaper. They read the news. Maybe they even watch Legal AF and MeidasTouch. And they know, I think some of them do, and they know that this is being misused and abused as another abuse of power by Donald Trump. Donald Trump doesn't care. For as long as he has the shiny toy, he's going to continue to use and break the shiny toy until it's taken away from him. So we're going to continue to follow it all right here on the MeidasTouch Network. The protest in Davos, the protest in Greenland, the EU and NATO's response, and how they try, through a combination of flattery, threatening, coercion, economic powers, how they try to rein in Donald Trump, who says the crazy part out loud. I'm starting a war because I didn't get the Peace Prize. I'm Michael Popok. Take a minute, slide over to Legal AF YouTube channel. Help us continue to grow towards 2 million subscribers. With your help, we will. And I'm running a sale for Martin Luther King Jr. Day and weekend, 25% off our Substack annual paid membership. And thanks for keeping Legal AF, the YouTube channel, Legal AF, the podcast, and the Intersection podcast all atop the charts. That's all because of your fervent support, and we appreciate it. Until my next report, I'm Michael Popok. Can't get your fill of Legal AF? Me neither. That's why we formed the Legal AF Substack. Every time we mention something in a hot take, whether it's a court filing or a oral argument, come over to the Substack. You'll find the court filing and the oral argument there, including a daily roundup that I do called, wait for it, Morning AF. What else? All the other contributors from Legal AF are there as well. We got some new reporting. We got interviews. We got ad-free versions of the podcast and hot takes. Where? Legal AF on Substack. Come over now to free subscribe.